Well, after 6 weeks, this is it. The last day of leaders fighting for your vote before heading to the polls tomorrow. Scott Morrison and Anthony Albanese are campaigning on opposite sides of the country today. As a new poll shows, the race has tightened. Live to Andrea Crothers. She joins us from Perth this morning. Andrea, could Scott Morrison pull off Miracle 2.0?
Well, Pete, the words from Scott Morrison himself this morning. Absolutely. The coalition will have a spring in their step today off the back of this latest polling data, which could show Scott Morrison could be getting even tighter in this election race. So the Ipsos polling conducted for the Australian Financial Review shows that Labor's lead is narrowing. Its primary vote has dropped 2 points to 36%. The coalition, they've gained 3 points up to 35%. Now, on the two-party preferred basis, which has been calculated based off the 2019 preference flows, that would still show Labor in the lead at 53 to 47, Pete.
OK. And Andrea, the PM, as we know, is in WA today. What's the plan?
Yeah, he is in WA. This is his third visit to Western Australia this campaign. We know that Labor has a number of marginal seats here in their sights, particularly Swan and Pearce, because these are two seats where there are retiring MPs, Steve Irons, as well as Christian Porter. Those seats, they're held on a margin of 3.2 and 5.2% respectively. There's also another poll out today in the West Australian which shows Labor could be in the lead in Pearce. It is done on a small sample size, but it does show the Labor two-party preferred 53 to 47 leading on that basis. Labor is also hopeful that if there is a major swing, they could also pick up Hasluck, held by Sydney MP Ken Wyatt. But Pete, as we know, a lot of people have already had their say this election so far. This is what Barnaby Joyce had to say off the back of that.
I think there are a lot of people, like to get the voting out of the way. There were people lined up before pre-polls even started. I accept that, and but there's still millions of people yet to vote.
Pete, Scott Morrison chose a 6-week-long campaign. It's where he feels most comfortable. Tomorrow we'll find out if it's paid off.
Yeah, we will indeed. Andrea Crothers, thank you. Labor will spend the day trying to convince Australians that its spending is a backing for a better future. Jonathan Lee is with the Albanese campaign and filed this report from the campaign bus.
The 6-week election campaign is all but over, but in many ways it really has all boiled down to this. With both leaders crisscrossing the country, the opposition's message is it's beyond time for change. In a break from convention, the opposition leader spent the night in Sydney and the press pack in Canberra after handing down its election costings, which show a Labor government will spend $7.4 billion more than a coalition over the next 4 years, increasing the nation's deficit by around $2 billion annually. After the government's proposed savings, that number rises to over $8 billion. On Sky News, Mr Albanese defended Labor's higher spending, arguing it will create productivity and grow the economy.
Well, what we will do, Kieran, is get rid of the waste and the rorts from the budget.
The attack lines from the coalition echoed from elections past.
What we've always seen from the Labor Party is when they can't manage money, they come after yours in higher taxes. That is the risk of Labor. They can no more manage the borders than they can manage money, and you'll pay for it.
After a nervous week that has seen the polls tighten, Labor remains on track to win government. It needs to pick up 7 seats to form a majority. The Labor team will only say that today will be a very big day, with the travelling media press pack up and checking out of their hotels by 5 a.m. this morning. This has been a carefully contrived campaign unlike any other, with both leaders very aware of their image.